You know what, folks? I have to say that, as you can see, the topic here, it's basically, well, I questioned it. It's called, Has Romance Killed Archie Sonic? Well, according to someone here on YouTube who's also a contributor on some of the Sonic message boards like Sega.com, cartoons and comics, as well as the Sonic Stadium and a few others. According to this contributor, and I will post what this contributor said down below in the description box. But according to this person, I guess they feel, I guess they put, basically, according to this person right off the bat, they want to discuss Sonic's attitude in the latest issue, which is 221, which this person finds revolting. They also say it's also here with the intention of chronicling the many ways that Archie Sonic has been given the proverbial knife in the back, if you will. Basically, one of the top things they feel as though the Sonic character, Sonic the Hedgehog character in the comic book, has been stabbed in the back many times by the writers of this book and by the company. According to what he says, or he or she says, much of this has been in favor of things like shipping or creating romantic tensions. Behavior was nothing short of disgusting, and the sad thing is, like I said, I'll post this down here, it's not even in character for him to act this way, even in Archie. With this recent issue and how utterly disgusting Sonic is portrayed, I think it's important that we understand Archie Sonic wasn't always this way, and that there is some actual quality regarding the character that can be salvaged. Okay, first of all, let's point something out. In case you didn't read the issue or the summary provided by Chaos Control 14, what Sonic said there wasn't just, him, it was also influenced by the black magic, if you will, of Nagas. Basically, what Sonic wouldn't normally say, he finally gets to say because of that magic. It's not his fault, if you want to look at it that way. But if you do want to look at it in a way that's justified, you can't blame him. And you can't blame Sally either. First of all, they didn't expect what they expected in this story when they went to the concert and Nicole was with them. When they went to that concert, they were expecting to hear the same old Mina that they had heard many times before. They didn't expect her to come out on stage and sing the lyrics that she did. And they didn't expect her to have a song targeted towards Nicole. And they didn't expect that her messages would nearly cause a riot or an outpour in the crowd. Now, with the exception maybe of a few of the friends, you get the idea. They didn't expect that. That's the reason Sonic said what he did. Alright? They didn't expect that. I mean, come on, think about it. If you're a friend of, say, excuse me. If you're a friend of, say, not a friend, but if you're a fan, okay, let's put it this way. Let's look at it from a wrestling standpoint. I know that sounds weird, but let's take a look at it from a wrestling standpoint. If you've been a fan of John Cena for his whole career, then if you've been a fan of his for his whole career so far, and let's say he started to get back into a more of a rap gimmick, a little heelish, a little tweener, a little Stone Cold like, it wouldn't really surprise you because you've seen it before. Like I said, it really wouldn't surprise you because you've seen it before. However, if you're new to John Cena as a fan, if you're a new John Cena fan and you don't know about that, and then all of a sudden he starts doing this, then you say to yourself, I'm not used to that. That's not the John Cena I know. It's exactly the same thing here. Mina, in that concert, was performing in a way they didn't expect her to perform. That's why Sonic said the thing he did in the comic. And think about it. Sonic's not the only person to say anything. Sally told Mina before they left to know one thing. Yes, Nicole was in control while they were gone, but she had to keep up the act to protect as many people as she could, and the fact that Nicole was at her concert. So think about that. Put that into perspective. Put that into perspective, if you will. Why would Sally tell Mina that before they left? Huh? To make Mina realize that Nicole was always on their side. She just couldn't, during the whole Iron Dominion deal, she just couldn't reveal herself to many. Because if she would reveal herself to many, she'd be probably blowing her cover. That's the whole deal. Alright? And it's also due to the fact that Mina is one of those victims, one of those people that were held prisoner that's going through a lot of trauma. I wouldn't be surprised by the end of the story that she has to go see Dr. Quack like Sally did back around between issue 126 to about issue 129, 130 for a whole year just so she can get over these traumatic issues. Alright? I mean, that's what Sally tried doing, and yeah, it didn't really work, but remember, they've gone by that. They've gone past that. The characters have grown no matter what you say. Now, excuse me. Now, according to, now the first thing he points out, because he also shows some pictures as well of certain scenes. He says, the first thing he says is friendship and romance. The first thing he wants to point out. Friendship dash romance. He says many people complaining about the book are upset at the notion that this style that the style of this writing reflects more on an interest in emphasizing romance than it does the many friendships Sonic's supposed to have. The thing is, Sonic valued the idea of having secured friendships more than a relationship. One of the reasons he stated that he didn't want to date was because he didn't want to lose touch with his friendships. The implication being Sally and Mina specifically. However, let's look at what Archie did since then and the utter sugarcoating they put on it in order to gloss over the rewriting Sonic as an inconsiderate jerk. Okay. Excuse me here. I'm trying to get over a cough and everything. I took my medicine and everything, so I'm fine. Okay, first of all, let me explain this. Sonic still values his friendships. There's no doubt about that. He still values them very, very strongly. It doesn't mean he can't date. Alright? In real life, this happens. I was in high school, alright? And I had many friends who had girlfriends. I had many girls. There were many girls that I was friends with that had boyfriends. And despite the fact that some of them were together, did I ever act like an inconsiderable jerk? Did they ever act like inconsiderable jerks? No. They always valued the friendship towards me as I did them. Excuse me. They valued the friendship towards me as I did towards them. Okay? just as important as they valued the relationship and their dating of each other. It doesn't necessarily mean they were ever inconsiderate jerks, because they weren't. They never were. And that's the same with Sonic. He's not an inconsiderate jerk. If he's an inconsiderate jerk, he wouldn't have gone to Mina's concert. Okay? If he was an inconsiderate jerk, he would have put Sally first and not gone with Bunny to Sandblast City and help her finally discover that the fact that she still has family. Alright? If he was an inconsiderate jerk in Sandblast City, instead of, later on putting on an act with Bunny and pretending that they were fighting, he would have continued to fight with her for real. Get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying? The truth is, just because he wants to probably date Sally now and she wants to date him, vice versa, doesn't make them inconsiderate jerks towards their friends. Alright? Again, the only reason he said what he did in this issue was because he and Sally were pissed off at the fact, if not pissed off, but disappointed and upset at the fact that Mina would use the messages in her song to target and turn the people against Nicole. That's the only reason. Alright? Now, another thing he points out is the whole Sally-Mina issue, to make Sally the winner. And he points it out on Archie's half. He says, one, reshaped Archie, he basically says Archie reshaped Sonic's reservations to dating Sally from a number of reasons, including not wanting to risk friendships over the issue, to an issue of him never simply having known Sally's feelings. Even though it's been made clear in numerous issues that Sally has made her feelings towards him pretty obvious. Alright. First of all, he has acknowledged her feelings. There's no doubt about that. Look back at 123, 124, and 125. Take a look back at those. If he didn't acknowledge her feelings then he wouldn't have. Alright? Now, this person also points out, so Sally goes and tells Sonic her feelings, as if she never made mention before, and they get together. Sonic doesn't care to remember his prior characterization, or the fact that upon this writing being forced in, it achieved exactly what he initially feared. Sonic and Mina have since drifted apart as friends. Okay. Now, first of all, they haven't drifted apart as friends. Mina is a rock star now. She's a superstar. She's an artist. Alright? Sometimes as friends, sometimes even, you know what? Okay, here's the deal. Just because this one issue had them arguing doesn't mean the friendship is tarnished. No. Look, Mina is a rock star. She's a superstar. She's always going to have other things to do. She's going to be with Ash a lot. Doesn't mean she necessarily has to be with Sonic all the time as a friend. And you know what this also sounds like to me? And I hate to say this, but it sounds like to me someone here, the person that wrote this or typed this up, sounds like to me that this person is in favor of Sonic Mina. That's what it sounds like to me. So if you're so let me say this: if you're in favor of it, why don't you just come out and